Hello everybody, it's Everalt4 for another weekly update. Few things first, just to get it out of the way, the video schedule for this week should be normal. Golden Sun Rakuen. If you didn't see last week's Rakuen episodes, I think you should. I think they're some of the better ones that I've done. There's a lot of funny voice acting, just silly scenes and stuff. If you thought the game was being a bit too heavy, this will change that. Excuse me. So yeah, check them out. But yeah, more importantly, health news. I told you guys last week that I'd be getting a PET scan on Thursday to see if what's going on and stuff. So the answer is I won. Plain and simple, to put it out there, I won. The scan was negative. The doctor that looked it over said that if he hadn't been told beforehand that I actually had cancer, he'd have just said it was a normal looking scan of a regular person. Yeah. If you look very, very closely, there's just hints and traces of little metabolic activity, but it's even better than the one I took post-surgery, which is nice. That was 3 months ago. But yeah, they actually called it negative, which they weren't saying last time, which last time after they removed the primary tumor and most of the secondary stuff, there was nothing. So I'm in remission now. And wow. So, yeah. I'm still on a medication, the medication I've been taking for the past couple months, fenretinide, which is not a chemo. It's essentially a maintenance medication to make sure everything that is dead stays dead. Yeah, I won. I beat it. 4+ years, 4 years of being treated. I would say 5 or 6 years of actually having this stuff. A significant chunk of my life, but yeah. So where do we go from here? Well, I've only just begun to live. Essentially, this isn't the end, my friend. There's hopefully two stages to any successful cancer treatment. There's killing the cancer, and then there's damage control. And we're going to start entering the damage control part of the treatment. The philosophy behind cancer is it's going to kill you, so you throw everything you can at it. You nuke the damn thing, and, the consequences be damned. Your main goal is getting rid of it and surviving. Afterwards, the person's usually a wreck, and you try to fix everything that you can. Because cancer sucks, and one of the big things that cancer does that people don't realize it sometimes is that, like, when you see cancer patients with all the hair gone and everything, it's not the cancer, that's the chemo. That's the stuff that's helping them. The reason why they feel sick, unless it's an aggressive cancer that's attacking a part of their body, like their spine, like some people do, sometimes they don't feel it until it's too late. Sometimes they feel it right away and it just attacks. It depends on the part of the body. It depends what kind of cancer. It's different for everybody. But the chemo is where you feel a lot of the big effects. Maybe not the lethal effects, but that's what makes your life miserable. Unless it was already miserable from the cancer, as I said, and the chemo actually alleviates that, which a friend of mine who's going through trying to beat something is experiencing that the chemo sucks, but it actually lets him live a little, that the cancer wasn't letting him live. So, yeah. But so what the goal is right now is just to get my life back in order. One of the things that we're doing is, again, the maintenance medication to make sure it stays gone, because I don't want to have to go through this again. Seeking, trying to repair psychological damage that 4 years of dying can do to you, and just all the horrible experiences that I've had, the trauma and everything. Just trying to find some way to deal with that. Also repairing the damage that was done to my body in certain places, because chemo affects a lot of different systems, and some that have absolutely nothing to do with the cancer. Obviously, what people mostly see is the hair, which is a problem that I'm dealing with. I have a large bald spot in the middle of my head. My hair is all curly now, as opposed to being straight. I hate seeing myself with curly hair. Other people with curly hair is fine. Like, they're really nice that way. But personally, I hate looking at myself with curly hair, even though when I was a kid I had the most adorable curly hair. But I'm not an adorable little child with a bow tie and suspenders anymore, unfortunately. As much as the fan people might want to see that. Sorry. But we're dealing with that. I have to deal with long-term effects of the chemo on, let's just say, other systems. And constant pain from the back surgery that I have. I have rods and screws in my back from when I had to get part of my spine hollowed out. I'm working on getting feeling back in my legs from the various surgeries I had, also having to do with my spine and nerve damage. Obviously, I'm not a thin person, and I need to work on getting myself just back in shape and, back under being overweight, which I keep on teetering on overweight, obese. I'm tall, so it doesn't look that way, at least on my face. You can see I have a bit of a double chin, but, I'm still fat. But yeah, no, it's gonna be a long road still, but the specter of death no longer looms over me, and that's something. I've spent the last few months worrying because, again, I said post-surgery, in April, if you weren't here for that long, or you don't remember, in April I got one of my adrenal glands removed and a large chunk of a tumor that was over my right hip. I have really fun scars that I'll probably show you one day. Just lines across my body all over the place. I also still have a port over here, which we're actually looking to get removed. It's under the skin thing. You can't see anything. Sorry. We're actually looking to get removed in October because I don't need it anymore. The point of that was if I needed chemo that needed to be injected intravenously, they didn't have to keep going through my hand. Like over here when I got the scan, can't really see it, but I got a hand IV because it's just easier that way. Some of the nurses have problems accessing the port, but I have just a large bruise here now. You can kind of see it with the contrast of light. Yeah, I when I get stuck, I bruise badly. The pain doesn't bother me, except after the surgery. I had an IV in each hand, and they weren't regular IVs. They were surgical IVs, which are bigger, and I couldn't move my hands for several days, and that was something. But yeah, so I'm gonna have the port removed hopefully soon because the only thing that I'm being stuck for these days is blood tests, and I can just get that in the arms. So, yeah, that's gonna be a big improvement. It's not gonna increase my quality of life too much because it's not, like right now, it's really unintrusive. There's just a hard bump there. If I get hit or pressed down, it kind of hurts. But there's nothing above the skin, like I can shower and things like that. But yeah, no, we can move forward though, and that's the main thing. And I just I say this every week, but I want to thank you guys so much for all your support and just the love and everything that you've done for me all this time. For those of you who didn't watch the cancer update video that I make yearly, that was in March or June or something. I feel like it was mid-March maybe. Somewhere around there. I had a back pain for a while, really bad back pain, like to the point that I had to be on prescription strength pain meds constantly, which is something, for several months. And eventually, I kept putting off, doing anything about it. Eventually, the people on YouTube and Twitter here, you guys, said, Dovey, this is really bad. You have a high tolerance for pain, yeah, but this is really bad. Go have it looked at. So I was like, fine. And I asked my parents, I said, we should probably get an MRI. Because it wasn't going away. And it turned out that it was a tumor on my spine, and if I had delayed a couple months, I'd be dead. And, so that was something. When the treatment started, this was in 2013, so 4 years ago, 2013, treatment started in June. The doctor wasn't even giving me, odds. I asked him point blank, so, what are the survival odds for this? And he was like, well, I don't really like to give odds out, but, you have a more aggressive version, it seems, that most kids have, because this is a cancer. Neuroblastoma is a cancer that kids have, not adults like me, like 2, 3 newborns, and it goes away pretty fast with them. It has a high survivorship rate. For kids, adults is less studied. I was like one of 5 people. 5 people, not in the hospital, 5 people with adult neuroblastoma. So he saw the fact that it was stage 4, and it was in several places, and those several places were really bad. Potentially, some of them were potentially bad, some of them were actually bad, and he said, listen, we're going to try our best, and that's what we're going to say, but they weren't giving me a confident yes that we would be able to beat it. So the main thing that we were trying to do was attack it long enough for us to just win a war of attrition, which is eventually what we did. It's been 4 years. 4 years of attacking this stupid thing. None of the strong chemos worked, and only the slow and steady out-of-the-box medications that my doctor tried worked. And thankfully, I had the doctor, his name is Dr. John Maris, who is like the world's foremost authority, at least I'm pretty sure he is, on neuroblastoma. So I was in good hands, and he tried his best despite my body really, really not cooperating. Every time they're like, yeah, let's do this, a bad reaction, just didn't work, felt terrible. Okay, we'll try something else. Let's keep trying something else. We kept going, and finally we did it after God knows how long. This year was very eventful, especially the first year I almost died several times, just from the heavy chemos and the fact that I had the cancer and it wasn't dying, but it was pretty stable throughout the rest of the time, slowly dying, having, ups and downs here and there. But this year, after the radiation, the second radiation, I almost died from anemia around MagFest. I was walking around MagFest more than half dead. If you saw me then, I know I keep saying this, if you saw me then, and that I was operating on less than fumes, just the sheer pure spite against what was going on. But like when I went back to my room each night, I was just lying in bed dead. It was terrible. And then I got immunotherapy, and that almost killed me even more. I actually did think I was gonna die. The MagFest thing, I only found out later I was horribly anemic, but after the immunotherapy, I actually thought I was gonna die. I actually, I'm not going to talk about that, but, yeah, I thought I was going to die, and then we got the surgery, and poof, it was quite a turnaround. I wasn't losing to cancer there. I was losing to the immunotherapy. But yeah, to get back on my point, you guys are the ones that had me go and get checked out, and without you, I would be dead. We would have eventually gotten it checked out, but I think it would have been too late. The surgeon who worked on my spine to get the tumor out said he didn't understand how I was still standing with all the, essentially my spinal cord, all the nerves in my spinal cord. You have your bones are surrounding the spinal cord like this. You have inside and outside spinal bones. So the tumor was growing out of one and pushing all the nerves up against it. And when nerves get touched, they're not happy. Explaining the pain. But also when they're squeezed, they don't send electrical signals. And yeah. So that was something. But it was all because of you. And I'm eternally grateful to all of that. To all of you for that. And I always will be. And I'm here today because of you, and yeah, I all the support over the years, and all the trying to help me through the really depressing times, and losing a person that's close to me shortly after, or about a year after being diagnosed, and going through a lot of changes in my life that were bad. You guys were always there, and I'm very grateful for that. I would start naming names, but honestly, there's really too many people. But even if you just gave me encouragement on Twitter once, or in a comment or whatever, sent me a message, or just said hi, you contributed a lot, and you always do. Even if it's not regarding the cancer, just in general, any interaction, it really means a lot to me, and I will always be eternally grateful. And that's why I keep doing what I do here, because I'm just happy that you guys are supportive, and I'm happy that I can make some of you happy in the process, even if the YouTube is trying its best to destroy the system. But yeah, so I just want to thank you all very much for that. It's, it goes beyond words, really. But just know that I love and appreciate every single one of you. And I say that every time as well. And I hope that doesn't devalue it, because I sincerely mean it. And for those of you who know me, know that I am a sincere person. Like, I really, really, deep in my soul, just want to see everybody happy, and I hope that I can convey that to you through my words, if not my actions. But yeah, I'm still alive. It's great. If you want to, if you're just here for the health thing, then thank you very much for watching the weekly update. I'll see you guys next time. But there's also stuff and news to talk about, so after 18.5 minutes of yammering on, we have to move on to another subject to make this a long video. Sorry. So, just going to stuff. My little brother is a 3D printer. I've showed you some of the other things that he's made in the past, but this week he made me a chocobo. This is it's used green filament, so it's a green chocobo, so I can go over mountains now, right? But yeah, it actually, the 3D modeling works really well with the Final Fantasy VII sprites, so I'm very impressed. He also 3D printed me a little Tyranitar. Look at this cutie. Look at this guy. It's amazing how detailed the 3D printers can go. It's a little messed up on the bottom here, but that's just because of the limits of the printer. It's not a high-end printer, but it's still a 3D printer. It's cool. Sorry. Also, what came out this week, Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle. If you didn't see my first impressions video, go check it out. When this game was first announced, I was really skeptical because I despise the Rabbids, and I still do. And I wasn't particularly confident, but then they started showing off the game. Like at E3 and stuff, they actually started showing off the game, showing the enthusiasm of the developers. Grant Kirkhope was announced to be the composer for the game, so I started getting really hyped, and the more and more I saw of this game, the more hyped I got. And after playing, I would say about 10 hours now, I'm doing it the hard way. I'm trying to 100% everything on the first try, which means that given the XCOM style gameplay, I've been restarting a lot of battles because of stupid mistakes that get teammates killed. You have to complete it with, all your teammates. Essentially, to get a gold rank on a battle, you have to complete it with all your teammates still alive and within a set number of turns. And it's not unreasonable, the amount of turns. I only once had to reset because I was over the turns, and I was over one turn. Most of the time it's because somebody dies. But so I've 100%ed the first world section. I don't know how many there are, 3 or 4 maybe. The story is good. The humor is great. I would say the writing is on par with the Mario and Luigi series, which is high praise from me, because Mario and Luigi, at least the first game, the other games have great writing too, but like on par with the first Mario and Luigi game. First Mario and Luigi game is fantastically written. The rest are also written well. But yeah, it's good. The humor is great. The graphics are nice. The gameplay is solid. And everyone I know that's tried it is like, wow, this is good. I wouldn't say it's game of the year because we've had so many other good games this year, especially Switch games, but man, like, I'm really impressed, and I'm happy. I'm actually happy that, like, it wasn't a throwaway thing. Like, they really took the concept and went full force with it. Like, they didn't try to make it more serious than it was supposed to be, because it's the Rabbids. Like, they took all the silliness, but they made a finely crafted game and story, and it's really well done. If you have a Switch and you like tactical styles stuff, then get it. It's good. Other things that happened this week, I did the Tetris challenge for Game Sharks. Maybe I talked about it last week, but Game Sharks is a challenge group that Juker is running. Essentially, every 10 days there's a new challenge and you stream it. They provide all of the software. It's like on NES, GBA, things like that. It's emulated. And you just stream, your attempt, and at the end there's a leaderboard, and it's really fun. It's a community thing. On Tetris, I got 15th place out of 44 or 45 or something like that, which is pretty good. But yeah, there was a lot of entries, and I was really impressed because for the first challenge, Super Mario Bros. 3, there was 20, 30-ish. So they really ramped it up, and it's cool. The current challenge is on Mario Golf Toadstool Tour, I think. Whichever the GBA one that Camelot made is. I think Camelot made all of them, but the GBA one. So I'm going to hopefully be streaming it that week after I practice, because I have no experience with that game whatsoever. But yeah, if you want to check it out, I'll maybe put a link in the description to the Discord. They provide everything there. There's a help center. There's a place. It's very well laid out. Let's see. Also, this week, a bunch of stuff with Fire Emblem Heroes. There's a what's it called going on? A gauntlet, battle gauntlet, voting gauntlet. There we go. Of the heroes and heroines that were top ranked in the popularity vote from beforehand. So they had some banners going, and you get a free summon now for every new banner. So I went on the male hero one. I'm like, oh wow, Hector's in this. Wouldn't it be great if I get it in the free summon? Gets Hector. Like, ah! So yeah, now I have a Hector in that game, which Hector is infamous as at being like the most elusive character in the game. There's a news story, I think, on Kotaku a while ago when the game first came out, of a guy that spent like $1,500 summoning and never got a Hector. Like, he got so many other people, but not one Hector. So he's also really good. He has a counter attack. I have a team counter now. because I also got Ike earlier. So now I have Ike, Takumi, Ryoma, and Hector. So I have 4 people that can counterattack from any distance. And they're a killing squad. It's fantastic. There was also a banner for Choose Your Legend, which was like special versions of some of the characters. So I ended up choosing Lynn, who is a bow person on a horse, because I think she's the first character that actually has a bow on a horse. But also I only had Takumi as a colorless 5-star. So, and then I did a draw on that, used 20 orbs, and I got the Axe Ike and also Faye 5-star. So it gave me, in the same one, it gave me 2 5-stars. I'm like, this was good. So that's fun. So I'm having fun with that game again. I was kind of just logging in for the daily rewards and things, but now I'm getting back into it because I have Teams of Death, like along with Reinhardt, who is a killing machine. I'm doing very well for myself in that game. There was a demo for Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, and I'm so hyped for that game now. It's coming out this month. Yeah, the demo was just, it was tantalizing. It was just a little taste. It cuts off in the middle of the trial. I'm like, come on, can't do that. But it has the same style, same tongue-in-cheek style, vibrant characters, music, everything that I come to love in the Danganronpa series, and so hyped. And I want to either do a blind stream of it, the whole game, or a let's play, maybe a blind stream that I'll upload to my channel. But I want to do it right away, but like people might not watch because they don't want spoilers, and that sucks. Maybe they can play it along with me. I don't know. But I want to do something like that because I'm like really, really hyped for this game. But we'll see. Also announced Miiverse is dying. It's dying on November 8th, which is also Proton John's birthday. So, Proton John's birthday killed Miiverse, and it's a established fact. So, you can go blame him, and don't tell him I sent you. Let's see. There was a Nintendo Direct thing on indie games, which was really cool. One of the things they announced is No More Heroes 3, Suda51 and all that, so a lot of people are hyped. There's also a bunch of other cool games that they announced. You should check out the trailer. They didn't talk about Wargroove, which I'm upset about, because I'm really hyped for Wargroove. That's the Fire Emblem Advance Wars. It's the medieval Advance Wars spiritual successor thing. Looks great. Let's see. Sonic Forces announced that it would have a whole bunch of skins of various Sega properties like Knights, person from Jet Set Radio, and Joker from Persona 5, and everyone's like, I never saw it coming! But I did. I saw it coming because in Persona 5 there's a Sonic the Hedgehog reference, and Sega owns Atlas now, so I fully expected something. But yeah, memes were had. There's also a global Total Biscuit emote now of his lol thing where he's like, it's great. I'm happy. I like Total Biscuit. He's cool. I know he's been more on the divisive side sometimes, but I actually think he's a pretty sincere person. I think that he is a good person, and also he's been fighting cancer almost as long as I have now. He was diagnosed 3 years ago, I think, maybe 3.5, and he's been putting up a good fight. He beat terminal. He beat terminal diagnoses a few times already, so I wish him the best. You know, he's got a family, and you don't want a family to go through that. Even if you don't like a person's personality, you don't want them to go through something like that. He has a wife and kids. That's something that's always bothered me. The people are like, I hope you die of the cancer. Like, whoa. You can really disagree with the guy, but like, he has a wife and kids. Don't do that. Personally, I enjoy his personality. It's horribly sarcastic and a bit abrasive, but I know where it's coming from, and it's funny to me. Also, finally, which the freaked out over yesterday. Lucajin and Proton John got engaged at PAX West, and I was just like, ah! I'm so happy. So a preamble to that. Last week, somebody asked me on the Ask FM site why I'm so obsessed with Proton John, and so I essentially gave the answer to personality jives with me. I enjoy his style. He's a sincere person, and yeah, it's pretty much he and Luca are like some of the more perfect role models I've seen in my life, and I've met a lot of really great people, but like, getting whatever limited access I have to them online, but seeing them at cons and stuff, hanging out with them there in person, they're just like really genuine people, and like I just I have as I was saying before, I have a strong desire to see people happy. I have a very strong desire to see the people that make me happy, and a lot of their work and a lot of the personal things, like I've had talked to them in the past, outside of the YouTuber thing, just the support, however much or little, that they've given me the past few years going through the cancer and things like that. It's helped me immensely. And it's something that some of the bigger YouTubers don't have time for, and they make time for people, the little people, and I feel like I have a connection, even though there's probably a lot of people that think that. And whatever it is in my head that I do or don't know them, I feel a connection. And I probably am obsessed. I'm a fanboy, and but just seeing them happy makes me very happy, and I know that them being the good people that they are, and just how well they fit together, just makes me happy to see them together. Obviously, they've been dating for a while, but I didn't, they never obviously talked about the idea of marriage or anything like that, so I didn't think it was going to happen for a while anyway, but this is just, at this point, it's gossip. But yeah, I'm really excited. Hoping to, at MagFest, be able to give him hugs. But yeah, it's a whole community thing, to answer the question of why I'm so obsessed, what I see in them and things like that. There's a community thing. I feel inspired to be a better person, seeing them being good people. I'm inspired to draw stupid fan art by the things that they do and say, especially in streams. I've drawn a lot more in the past couple months, just for Proton John's Final Fantasy V streams. Even if it's not amazing artwork, I also did stuff for Lucajin from her Phoenix Wright Let's Play, and just in general, like most of the art I've done is fan art for people, also for Misei, and it's nice that they appreciate it. I feel like that I have, again, a connection based on that, and based on other people, mainly Christy and Ben, putting my name out there for a few years at various PAXs. It's just like, I don't know, like I get like a pleasure when people say, "Oh yeah, Dovey," because I'm just a person online, and it's to the point where like people ancillary to them are also calling me Dovey now, that I don't have like as much of a connection to, and as opposed to Sephiroth or Sephiroth 1204. And it's just cool. But yeah, and it's just there are people that I want to help, I want to be friendly with, because they help so many other people. But yeah, to get back to the matter at hand, they got engaged, and I could not be happier for them. I know they're not watching this to see this, but I do wish them like all the best and happiness, and I wish that for everybody, really. Um, I even if I don't always say it, I feel your pain when you guys go through your hardships. And I always try to think of ways that I can try to help. And sometimes I can't, but I think about you guys always. And once again, just thank you all very much for everything that you do, everything that you say, everything you do. Okay, no. Not gonna go into singing, sorry. Every little thing you do is magic. Sorry, I had to get that out there. I really do appreciate it, and I do hope that we'll be able to share in good times, both yours and mine, for a while yet. It's been Sephiroth 12 with the weekly update. Goodbye, everybody. Bye-bye.